Namaskara. Today, identification of inverse function. First question is, f of x is given as 2x plus 9, g of x is equal to half of x minus 9 over 2. Is g of x the inverse of f of x? Yes or no? How to find inverse function? Functions f of x and g of x are called inverse function if and only if f composition g of x, that is f of g of x, is equal to x and g composition f of x, which is g of f of x, also equal to x. If both these two satisfies, then we call f of x and g of x are inverse. If these two satisfies, we say f inverse of x, inverse function. Inverse function of x is equal to g of x. Inverse of x is equal to g of x. Let's check. First, let's find f composition g of x. That is f of g of x. Composition of function I have already explained in the last video. So here g of x is the inner function. So you have to put the value of g of x first. What is g of x? G of x is given as half of x minus 9 over 2. This is g of x. Put the value of g of x here. Now next step is you have to consider this as x. This is f of x. Now your next step is, we know that f of x is equal to, what is f of x? F of x is 2x plus 9. Now we have to consider this whole part as x. So put the value of x here, f of x. You have to put the value of x here. Here x is half x minus 9 over 2. So which is nothing but 2 times, in place of x you have to replace half x minus 9 over 2. So here in place of x you have to replace half x minus 9 over 2 plus 9, which is equal to, here I am applying distributive property, 2 times half x minus 2 times 9 over 2, 2 times half x minus 2 times 9 over 2 plus 9. 2 times half x minus 2 times 9 over 2 plus 9. Two cancels, so value is x minus, again 2 and 2 cancels, here value is 9, remaining value plus 9. So minus 9 plus 9 cancels out, remaining is x. So what is f composition g of x? F composition g of x is equal to x. So one part satisfied. Let's find the other part, which is g composition f of x. G composition f of x, nothing but g of f of x. Our f of x is 2x plus 9. So in place of f of x, replace 2x plus 9. Here f of x is inner function. Now g of x, this whole part you have to consider as x. We know that g of x is equal to half of x minus 9 over 2. Now you have to replace this 2x plus 9 here. Wherever x is there, you have to replace 2x plus 9, which is nothing but half of 2x plus 9 minus 9 over 2. Simplifying, I am applying distributive property. This is half times 2x plus half times 9 minus 9 divided by 2. Here numerator 2, denominator 2 cancels out. So remaining part is x plus half of 9, which is nothing but 9 over 2 minus 9 over 2. Again 9 over 2 cancels. So remaining part is x. So g composition f of x is x. So both these equations satisfies. That is f composition g of x is also x. We got x. And g composition f of x is also x. So that's why we can say g of x is the inverse of f of x. We can say g of x is inverse of f of x. So our answer is yes. Is g of x the inverse of f of x? Yes. Now question number 2. So f of x is given as 2x and g of x is given as x plus 7. So is g of x the inverse of f of x? So f of x and g of x are inverse for the value of x if and only if f composition g of x and g composition f of x both are equal to x. Now let's take first f composition g of x, which is equal to f of g of x. You have to replace the value of g of x. What is g of x? G of x is given as x plus 7. F of x plus 7. Here x plus 7 is taken as x. F of x is given as 2x. So f of x is 2x. F of x is given as 2x. So in place of x, you have to replace x plus 7. So 2 times, in place of x, you have to replace x plus 7. 2 times x plus 7, which is nothing but 2 times x, 2x plus 2 times 7, 14. So f composition g of x is 2x plus 14. So which is not equal to x. That means f composition g of x is equal to x does not satisfy. Therefore, we can say g of x is not inverse function of f of x. That is, we can say f inverse of x is not equal to g of x. So our answer is no. Is g of x the inverse of f of x? So our answer is no. Because f composition g of x is not equal to x. You can try this problem. F of x is equal to x minus 9. G of x is equal to x plus 9. Is g of x the inverse of f of x? Yes or no? Try. See you in the next video. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.